Hello and welcome to the Connecting Communities podcast. My name is Caitlin and I am the Communications Coordinator for Mass Hire Metro North Workforce Board. Our organization is dedicated to developing partnerships, generating resources, and advocating for workforce solutions that results in a skilled workforce, prospering businesses, and access to meaningful career pathways for local residents. On this show, we share workforce development stories by speaking with members of our communities who believe in the power of quality employment. Joining me today for our very first podcast episode is Samara, a Digital Navigator Coordinator from our Digital JEDI Consortium. The consortium is designed to fix unfair differences in access to technology in the Metro North and Northshore areas of Massachusetts. Thank you so much for being here, Samara.
Thank you very much for having me.
I think this will be a great episode. So to start off, I'd love to have you kind of just introduce yourself and explain your role within the Digital JEDI Consortium.
Okay. So my name is Samara, and I am the Digital Navigator Coordinator here at CCTV, Cambridge Community Television, which is an organization that is part of the Mass Hire Digital JEDI Consortium. As the coordinator of our Digital Navigator pilot program, one of my responsibilities is to coordinate the activities of 3 digital navigators who are deployed across our city to provide digital navigator services to our low-income, BIPOC, and immigrant community members. I could say more.
Yeah, I mean that kind of leads into my next question is just can you speak a little bit to what the Digital JEDI Consortium is and does?
Sure. The Digital JEDI Consortium are a group of organizations from the Metro North and Northshore cities who are committed to eliminating the digital divide in their communities. They have collectively organized their resources to deploy digital navigators to key communities in order to provide navigator services. The consortium believes that everyone should have equal access to technology, digital skills, and upward economic mobility.
Yeah, it's awesome. And you kind of touched on this, but I think there's no denying that there's a digital divide in today's society. You know, there's a gap between people who have affordable access to technology and skills and the help to use those skills online and those who don't. So can you explain a little bit what digital literacy is and why it is important?
Sure. Basically, I would say it's the ability to use technology in order to find, evaluate, use, and communicate information. But it's also the ability to develop the essential skills necessary in order to be able to compete in our information technology-driven economy. It is vitally important because so much of what we need to do on a daily basis is online. From registering your child in school, scheduling doctor's visits or school appointments, accessing higher education opportunities, searching for employment, and even voting. Not having these skills and or adequate internet access effectively locks citizens out of opportunities and prohibits their full participation in our society on all levels. And it's effectively anti-democratic. So it's really important if we're going to have a democratic society that everyone be able to participate.
Definitely. Yeah, I feel like technology today is just so infused in our society that a lot of people take that for granted and also take the skills to use it for granted. So yeah, I think that really speaks to the importance of the work that you guys are doing. Could you describe the role of a digital navigator a little bit more and also how your work looks as a digital navigator coordinator?
So I would say an average day for Digital Navigator here at CCTV would begin with preparing to see community members. Prior to every appointment, the navigator performs administrative and research work related to the community member they are serving, and that would include researching, any history that the community member might have using the navigator services, and technical support requests, device distributions, internet access, and any other related community care support referrals that the community member might need. Each community member appointment is 30 minutes, and the navigator's daily schedule can accommodate up to 6 community member appointments a day. Here in Cambridge, community members are offered the flexibility and ability to schedule in person, virtually, or walk-in appointments. And you said something about my role.
Yeah, I'd love to hear more, kind of what your work looks like day to day. How do you kind of organize this operation?
Wow. So yeah, my position is a little bit different. I don't have community member appointments, but I spend a lot of times in meetings, facilitating collaborations with other organizations to determine how to best deploy the Digital Navigator services. It's a new resource for our community, and so there's been a little bit of I don't want to use the word struggle, but there's been a little bit of figuring out how do we use this resource, how do we best deploy it. I also establish and monitor metrics relating to the service areas offered to community members, because I always want to ensure that the resource is being deployed in an efficient way, and that we are providing the Digital Navigator services at a high level. We want to make sure that no community member is waiting more than 48 hours for an appointment, and so that's what my role is, making sure that
that's amazing.
that happens.
What's your favorite part about this work?
Wow. So I think it's having the ability to impact lives in a positive way.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel a little, teary here, but I can read you an example of what I'm talking about. I'm going to read an impact story, a story from a community member who recently found a navigator and accessed the technical support service area. And it was basically someone who needed to know how to learn how to send a text message. So they came in to learn how to send a text message so that they could text their daughter. The daughter was in Spain, and with the help of a navigator, he was able to send a text message to his daughter. So to me, that's a powerful story about access.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, I text my parents every day, and oftentimes without thinking about it, it's like real people are struggling with things that so many people just take for granted.
Right. That basic communication,
Yeah.
The communication that is the foundation of holding families together, building relationships.
Yeah.
Maintaining relationships.
Yeah.
So that's my favorite part about working in this area
Yeah.
is that we help people to be able to, or we're trying. We're trying to eliminate the barriers that are getting in the way of quality of life.
Yeah, definitely. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
So my last question is basically, in our region, Metro North and also the North Shore regions, low-income, immigrant, and BIPOC communities experience digital inequities in workforce and career development, which you touched on. But how can people help combat this issue and create solutions that promote digital equity for all?
Well, I think one way is to improve access to digital technology, ensuring that low-income communities have access to affordable and free digital devices like laptops and hotspots, tablets, and very important internet access. I think that local governments and nonprofits should be partnering with tech companies to provide discounts and or free services. Free is always good.
We like free.
To underserved communities. I also think that expanding digital literacy is very important. And I think that can be done in the community-based training, offering digital literacy training programs in community centers and non-profit organizations like CCTV, for example. Yeah, I think that it would be important for the digital literacy not to just focus on basic skills, but also intermediate and advanced skills, because, those skills are the skills that are going to be able to allow a community member to effectively move upward economically. So,
Yeah, definitely. This wasn't a pre-prepared question, but if there's one thing you want people to walk away with thinking about after listening to this conversation, what would that be?
That eliminating the digital divide is, imperative. It's imperative in order to have a healthy, functioning society and in order for everyone to win. And I think we should want everyone to win, right? It can only create more prosperity, and it can only move us all forward. It doesn't serve any one of us to have an underclass.
Definitely.
It doesn't make life safer, I tell you that. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. It's apparent how much you believe in this work, and I thank you for your honesty today and wisdom about these programs.
Well, thank you for interviewing me, Caitlin.
Of course.
It was so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.